And good afternoon, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverET. I hope everyone's had a great weekend. Folks, the US government have reopened. Fantastic news. Hopefully we're going to get those high-rise images coming in really soon. I'll keep you guys up to date as best I can. I think the US government opened up about 2 hours ago, so still early doors, but we're hoping for some information really soon. We're also going to be looking at Courtney Brown today. He did an interview recently on Watch Mojo, and he talks about 3IATLAS and talks about what's coming. It's relatively similar to the last interview he did, just kind of reiterating what he's saying. But he picks up on a really important point during this interview, so we're going to share that one with you. We're also going to go over a post on 3IATLAS on X as well. So folks, if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It's free to do. Support the public's evidence, support public disclosure. That's what it's all about, guys. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start off on X. Skywatch signal. 3IATLAS is venting jets nearly 3 million kilometers long. Wow. So huge, what looks like plasma jets, okay, coming off of this thing. Avi Loeb just released an extraordinary analysis of today's deep stacked image showing anti-tail jets stretching toward the sun and a massive collimated tail extending 30 arc minutes across the sky. At 326 million kilometers, that's 2.8 million kilometers of jet structure, the scale of a small star, folks. The anti-tail's ram pressure exceeds the solar wind. That means the jets are denser than the solar wind itself, an impossible feature for normal comet gas. Loeb calculates a mass loss rate of 50 billion tons per month, nearly total estimated mass of the object. For a natural comet, that's just absurd. That's an awful lot of mass to be being ejected from this comet when the comet is meant to be so big, you know, between 5 and 45 kilometers wide, right? So how can it be ejecting 50 billion tons per month and still be that size, right? It just doesn't make sense. He lays out the odds. Chance of a natural object this large entering the solar system within a decade is 0.0005%. Aligned with 5 degrees of the ecliptic on a retrograde orbit, 1 in 100 million probability that it's natural. 1 in 100 million probability that it's natural. If the jets are technological thrusters, Loeb writes, the required fuel would be less than 1% of the spacecraft's mass. Up and coming Webb and Hubble spectra will determine whether we are seeing outgassing or propulsion. Either way, this is the most anomalous interstellar visitor recorded in history, and yes, I know there have been 3. So let's stop pretending we know everything and keep monitoring the skies. And he's right, Skywatch signal's right. It's all good giving something a probability and just leaving it at that. But that's not really guaranteeing anything, is it? It's not. It's just taking a wild guess at the end of the day. Now, this thing is doing a lot of different things that we don't normally see in comets, and therefore it should be looked at. That's the whole point Avi's making. There's the frontal tail, so I'm assuming it's going from left to right, and you're seeing this tail, this outgassing or whatever it is, coming from the front, which is crazy, heading towards the sun. Balmy. Absolutely balmy. Never seen anything like it. I don't know how they're going to explain that one off. It is an unusually big object. It is an unusual trajectory, and that's why it's causing so much speculation, guys. And you got to admit, even for those that think this is a comet, you got to admit this is strange as hell. And I've always said it. Even if it turns out to be a comet, this is going to be the oddest interstellar object that we've ever laid eyes on. And we've got an opportunity to actually study it as well, because it's going to be coming right past the Earth. It already is going past the Earth, but it's going to be closest to the Earth December 19th. And hopefully we're going to get some awesome images from it. Hopefully we're going to get something from it later today as well, from the high rise. Okay, on to Watch Mojo. Guys, if you haven't already, give these guys a sub. They're really good. They have some amazing guests on, and Courtney Brown is one of those guests who made some bold predictions. Or he said he got told by ETs through remote viewing and telepathy. And he has a whole team of people that apparently, you know, they've been in constant communication. He's expecting things to go down. And he makes some valid points in this interview. I'd actually encourage you guys to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to just highlight some key points that sort of relate to us as well. It kind of relates to everyone, but it relates to our research, and it kind of relates to what we've been saying and thinking as well. So let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
Hail up. UFOs don't follow a comet. If they want to cross the sky or across the planet, they can get here across the whole galaxy in just a short amount of time. They're not going to slowly like an American spacecraft follow something. Anyway, so let's go to 3IATLAS.
Right.
With
yeah.
that background, I'm looking at what 3IATLAS is. A, it's a comet. What? And then we have major scientific personnel coming out of Harvard. We have Michio Kaku and we have Avi Loeb screaming, this is serious. It has evidence of this could be something. And they're sort of alluding this could be bigger and bigger. And there's evidence that there's, there's an attempt to sort of like the communications when it passed by Mars with the satellites, our own satellites, suddenly the communications stopped, indicating that, we weren't getting any telemetry back no images back from this 3IATLAS. Something's going on here, but it may pass into, it looks like Hail Bob all over again. It looks like what Art Bell was saying, like Hail Mary. He called it the Hail Mary, the Hail Bob thing, like increasing the panic, increasing the stuff, increasing now, Rob, this is the thing that really tells me this is nuts. Farsight was the one that pioneered showing people. Remember, the good ETs want everything out in public. We showed people how to take video recordings on demand any day you want in the middle of the day of UFOs right over your own head. Using infrared, we showed how to get the cameras and we showed how to make it infrared and then 120 frames per second and then how to process it in Adobe Premiere, for example. It's on our website, farsight.org. That website. In the introduction section, there's all the technical specs, which camera, how to get it converted to IR, how to actually shoot it at 120 frames per second, what LUTs to apply in order to be able to see these. The first time I did it, this whole process was told to us by the lead air traffic controller of the big Washington International Airport. He came to us on his own ticket. He bought his own ticket. He came to us in this very room I'm talking to now with all the monitors around. He came with Excel spreadsheets. He came with video examples. He told us what camera to use, what company to send it to get it converted to IR. So I'm not a genius, and we figured this all out. But somehow he was brought to us. He also took one of our courses and taught by Intisam, one of our remote viewers on remote viewing. So he was clearly getting involved in all of our stuff. And then he came and he showed us all of this stuff. And then we published everything and we gave examples and we gave lots of examples. So many examples, it got to be boring for us to take it. The very first time I did it on the deck in the back of my house, pointing up, wondering if this will work. In 15 minutes, we had 30 UFOs flying overhead. So one of them was huge. It covered the whole sky. It was like, I'm looking at what? Everything's invisible. You can't see anything with your physical eyes. Nothing. They're all using stealth tech. But you shift it to IR, infrared, and you shift it to 120 frames per second. And then the air traffic control guy, Lincoln Lounsbury, he was kind enough to do all the numerical stuff for us. He told us the speed that the crafts were speaking. He's the lead air traffic control person, or he was. He's retired now. For the entire the entire Washington International Airport. So he was the one. He's the expert of experts to be able to tell us what the speeds were. And he was saying there's ones that we're recording. They were 20,000 miles an hour, which is 32,000 kilometers an hour. You could have the whole Titanic fly over your head, over your house at 20,000 miles an hour. You're not going to see anything. So they do stealth tech to do this. Anyway, I started recording and then I started posting them. And then he said, and then the same guy, Lincoln Lounsbury, he told me, the UFOs, they really like air shows. Why don't you go do an air show? So I didn't know all this stuff. So I went down to the Pensacola Naval Air Base during a Blue Angels air show and I recorded in infrared. I didn't see anything. I just looked like a nice day and I saw the Blue Angels flying around. And then I went back and I processed it. I slowed it down so I could see what was going on, and I used LUTs so I could see what was going on with the infrared. There was like hundreds of UFOs, hundreds, and then I started to publish them on my Instagram page so people could see them for free. So,
okay, so you see why I played that clip, right? And the key points to take from this is infrared and 120 frames per second. The reason why he's saying 120 frames per second, because these things travel extremely fast. Extremely fast. So fast that we can barely see them with the eyesight that we have, guys. You really wouldn't see them unless you were looking in the moment at the direct spot in which they were passing. And if you did, you may see a glimmer of something flying past, but you're not going to know what it was. That's just the trickery of it. It's not only Dr. Courtney Brown that is saying this, guys. Gary Nolan has also said something very, very similar in a recent interview.
And we've had a few questions, Gary. Wim asked, what is the best data that you've come across? What is the best evidence for NHI that you've come across?
So, well, the certainty claim has been misunderstood, but it didn't stop it from going worldwide. You know, Stanford scientists is 100% sure of this X, Y, or Z, which I hadn't actually said that. If you look back at what I said, it was basically, what do you think the chance that it is here? I said, if I were to make a bet, it would be 100%.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of, at the end of the day, when you're placing a bet on the table on roulette, you're going to place it somewhere and you're 100% certain it's going to be that when you do it.
Yeah.
Or you go home, having lost all your money. There's a beautiful hummingbird right outside the window looking at me. So the best evidence, I would say there's a lot of the best evidence, but stuff that I've been involved with Skywatcher, where we make this supposed call and then things show up within a time frame posted, and then I've got pictures of things like right next to the helicopter that showed up, or just a coincidence of this on one of our separate events when objects were seen, and we have pictures of the stuff flying by rapidly. I mean, because it's moving so gosh darn fast that all you see is it across perhaps 2 or 3 frames of a rapid camera moving, and it's not a bug, so I don't care what anybody says. So it's those kinds of things that convince me further.
And so when you've got people like Gary Nolan, Courtney Brown, Dr. Robert Shipe, myself, other people out there saying record the skies because they're up there, you just need to have a high rate of frames per second, the right equipment, which I'm begging for. I'm begging for an infrared camera that does 120 frames per second so that I can film my hotspot out here, because I'm telling you guys, when you've got gold, you've got to make good on it. When you know they're there, you've got to make good on it. I think there's some really important stuff to point out there regarding what we should be doing to record the skies here on Earth. And he goes on to make a good point regarding 3IATLAS. He doesn't know what it is. It could be part of a PSYOP. It could be a part of a PSYOP, or they're using it as part of a PSYOP for something bigger that's coming soon, because it's all kicking off. This guy goes really deep into what's going on this planet and why. And if you want to watch it, please do. I mean, at the end of the day, it's his word and his team's word against, I guess, the people that doubt him. I for one believe in remote viewing. Okay, I've interviewed a remote viewer, Karen Rickson Thomas. She's done some amazing stuff for me in terms of healing my IBS. She's got a 100% record now for saying when she's going to capture a UFO for the channel, and then she does, and it just so happens she's capturing, between her and her son-in-law, they're capturing amazing stuff. And there's something in it, guys. There's something in it. If these remote viewers are saying that they've been talking to ETs and this is how you record and all this stuff, yeah, okay, on the fence a little bit, but he's right about a few things. We don't know what 3IATLAS is. There are UAP in the sky. They love the Blue Angels, the Red Arrows, all that stuff. They love air shows, guys. We've proven that in the past. Again, if you're new to the channel, just look up all the air shows that we've put out. Not been recorded by us. They're just recorded by other people that love an air show. And if you slow down the footage on a big screen, guys, you will see UAP all over the place. And we've been trying to say it now for the last year. I'm glad that Courtney Brown's come out with it, because it just sort of solidifies our research a little bit more, because we're not the only ones that know. And I don't want to be the guy that knows everything. I want this research to expand, and I want everyone's awareness to raise so that we can find out new stuff. And so that's the goal, guys. That's the goal. Watch the interview. Let me know what you think on all of it. I think it's really, really interesting. And just to touch on 3IATLAS a little bit more. For anyone that's new to the channel, this is going to be a bit of a what the hell moment. But for anyone who's watched quite regularly, you know and I know that UAP on this planet here, they mimic bugs and birds really, really well. And so we've got to be careful when we're looking for UAP, UFO, NHI, even in space, because it's a big bit of space. There's no need for them to be traveling slow. And when I mean slow, like 200,000 miles an hour in space is quite slow, you know, considering the distances they have to travel. So guys, don't be alluded to that. I think their technology far exceeds what we know, and they can handle space. Secondly, they're not going to be waving their white flag as they approach Earth as well, because they'll be sitting ducks for any other civilization. You know, it's a bit like us. I mean, we are quite a vicious species. We are the human race. I mean, put us in a cage against another species that doesn't understand violence, and where's it going to end up? I mean, us humans, we are crazy beasts, right? So for them to travel on our planet, or at least on this planet, they probably do move around in such a way that we don't actually know they're there. And regarding the cloaked craft, guys, we've seen it. You guys have recorded, and the cloaked craft are a real thing. What Courtney Brown is saying is not wrong. There are cloaked vehicles out there, guys, and some of them are very large. And this is why we need eyes in the skies. We need the right equipment to go out, and we do need some help with that. Farsight, they're doing their own thing. They've been doing it a long time, and I appreciate all the work they're doing. What we're doing is we just want the evidence to come in from you guys. We want cameras all around the world, and we just want to encourage more to capture something amazing, like Ben in Oklahoma's done, like Chris Carncross in Australia's done, Maggie Walsh as well, a few others. Honestly, you've all done amazing. What you've done already has set us up to continue. So that's the goal, guys. All right, guys, we're going to update you as and when we can regarding 3IATLAS. Thank you very much. Take care. All the best. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye for now.